back to All the Tea About Your V. So this week is a similar video to the week before. It's going to be a Zoom chat. Obviously because of COVID we can't meet up, which is very annoying because it would have been amazing. So today we are chatting to Empower Periods. And the woman behind this amazing Instagram is Victoria. So she has a great profile and she shares all about her undiagnosed story basically, and awareness about it and how women's pain is still so completely valid even if the doctors won't diagnose you. So we're going to be chatting today about periods, her experience with the doctors, IBS, something that so many women do struggle with that I think that I haven't touched on really, but I know a lot of people that follow me do struggle with it, so I thought this would be good to chat to someone that is going through this and just listen to her own experience. So please watch this video, it's been really good. I had so much fun with Victoria chatting. So please watch it and I'll see you after the video. Cheers. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on here today.
That's okay.
So,
thank you for inviting me.
That's okay. Do you want to introduce yourself to start with?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm Victoria. I'm 21 and I'm a history student, but I basically recently made my Instagram page Empower Periods because I'm a sufferer of severe IBS, or what they think is IBS, and and really bad periods. So I just wanted to put my word out there because I feel like it's so important to talk about. So
yeah, definitely. So we're going to go straight in there. Tell everyone about your first period.
To be honest, I've already told everyone. But my first period, I think I was at a friend's sleepover and I was about 14. And I remember at the time, like, you go to the bathroom, you're like really panicking.
Yeah.
But then I think I just told everyone and they were like, oh yeah, I've got stuff. So it was fine. But I did do a recent post on like first periods and quite a lot of people replied. And some of them were literally like, I thought I was dying. And it just really shocked me because I was like, this is why I'm doing this page, because it's ridiculous at how many people don't know like what it is. I was lucky with mine, but I've heard a bad few.
Was it bad though, like being at a sleepover?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was, when you're like, I think maybe 13, 14, like I rarely went on sleepovers. So of all the times to happen, it obviously would happen when I'm away. But I think at first I kind of panicked, but then I've got two sisters as well. So my older one, like it wasn't like bizarre for me. But for some of my friends, like, none of them knew anything about it. So it's just really ridiculous how much is taught in school.
No, it is. That leads me on to the second question. What was you taught in schools?
So in school, I don't remember being taught anything specifically about periods. I don't know if that's just like my lack of memory, but I don't remember having like a class dedicated to periods and like what you go through and how to use pads and how to use tampons, like nothing. The only thing I really remember is how a baby's born and like how to put a condom on. You have like, I remember in school, like they did this thing where it was a competition who could put it on the quickest. And I just think that's bizarre now to even think about. But I don't remember being taught anything. Like, I think it all came from my mum and having siblings that are sisters and like people that I'm quite an open person, but I've definitely like, know so many people that haven't got that. And I think that's why I'm just striving so hard to like try and make something change, because one of my friends was like, she didn't even know which way to put a pad on. Like it just, that's what I think should be taught in school. But I don't remember being taught anything. I don't know if you've been taught anything in school.
Literally nothing. So I'm pretty sure it was all the girls, you get periods, boys, you don't. So you boys go play football for a bit and all the girls are going to watch a video of giving birth.
Yes. Literally the same as ours. Yeah.
I was so freaked out at like 12 watching.
Yeah, because this was in primary school. Like this wasn't even secondary school. I'm pretty sure in secondary school they jumped straight to STIs and just skipped the whole like period thing. And it's like,
No.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
It's crazy, isn't it? Because I think I said on one of my videos, I have an older sister, so I knew
oh
everything
yeah,
first.
yeah,
But not everyone has the privilege of that.
no,
So they don't.
no way.
I remember having to tell some of my friends, "Oh, you started your period," and they were like,
Yeah,
"What is going on?" And like,
what
we,
even is that?
yeah,
Oh, I
it's
know.
crazy, isn't it? So that's one of the questions that I like to ask people because I
Yeah,
find it so interesting that
no, me
so
too.
many people from all over the country are not being taught anything.
Mm.
Which
I
is
don't
just,
know if it's different in schools now, but I can't see it being that different because it's still a taboo topic. And I just think if it wasn't, then it surely like it would have
yeah.
people would talk about it more. But I don't know if it is different. But that was my experience, and obviously I'm 21 now, and that was when I was about 13, so it's not too long.
So, what are your periods like now? Do you have a normal uterus?
Yes, so so no one does, do they? So when I started my periods, they were really really heavy, and my mum's just been on the pill growing up, or thought it was like all fine, which it obviously is. So she didn't think twice about when we went to the doctors and they said go on the pill. That was what I did, and that was kind of they didn't really give me anything. That was just like the option to go on the pill. So I did, and I remember being like, you know, when you're that person that's lucky to not get anything, and you're like, oh my God, people actually struggle with periods. Like, what? I don't. And when I went on the pill, I was absolutely fine. Um, and then I changed pill a couple of times because I started to have different like side effects of different things. I think I must have gone on about 5 pills. And by the age of like 17, I remember they were like trying to like sway me to some other form of contraception. Um, and I've only recently decided to get the copper coil, which I haven't actually had a period with yet. I'm expecting it to be heavy and painful, as I've been warned. But it can't be worse than what I had because I was already suffering everything with the hormones. So I just wanted to come off all hormones. And yeah, that was my main thing, really, because I also have like other mental health problems and it was just not working out together. But yeah, so right now I'm actually okay, but I am expecting the pain.
Yeah, yeah, completely. It's like scary, isn't it? Because you like you know
Yeah.
it's going to happen, and how do
Mhm.
you prepare yourself? I got told to have the pill for heavy
Yeah.
bleeding, but I just never got on with it. Really bad, like acne and things. And I was just like, this is not
Yeah.
doing well for me. And then they said have the implant.
Oh yeah.
So that stopped my periods for a while when I was like, yeah, 17, 18. So I was like, oh, cool, this is
Mm.
good. It's fine. That's what I wanted. But now I've had a new one put in and like, I'm not getting any period at all, but all the pain. Um,
Really?
yeah, which is so strange.
That's really strange.
So,
I've actually had a couple of people message me though, like saying the same thing, like not for the implant, but like I have all the pain, but I'm not bleeding. So like this is another thing that I'm not sure because I obviously don't know the answer, but it's something that like would be interesting to look into because like you're not alone. I think there's quite a lot of people that are in the same scenario. Yes.
discussing with you symptoms and
Yeah.
how you feel about it and things like that. I think they just give you anything and say, oh, she's bleeding,
Yeah.
you have this without talking
Because the
through it.
pill, yeah, the pill is good, like, you know, it has very like a lot of pros, but I just don't remember being told enough about it when I was given it because I was quite young. I think I must have been like 16. And yeah, I just feel like more needs to be like told. I mean, that might have just been my doctor, but as far as I know from other girls, they've all kind of gone through similar stories. So yeah, I just think it needs to be spoken, like you need to be told more side effects and like more like, you know, everything around the pill. Like you can't just be like, this is your answer.
When was you diagnosed with IBS? What's your pain like? What is your day to day
Yeah.
with IBS?
So I was diagnosed with IBS officially when I was about 17. But to be honest, like growing up, I don't really remember there ever being a period where I wasn't in like suffering some kind of stomach problem. Like whether it was never really like IBS symptoms, but it was just like I'd always get a stomach ache growing up. I don't know if that's now that I know IBS is often triggered by anxiety. Obviously, when you're younger, you're probably not as anxious and stressed. I don't know if that's why like nowadays it's worse. But yeah, my pain level is basically like if I eat certain things, I expect to be in pain. Um, the pain like comes like pretty instantly, and I'll either have to like rush to the bathroom because like I literally need to go to the loo straight away, or like I'll end up rushing to the bathroom and then just like getting myself really panicky and worked up, and then my body like goes into like this cramping like phase where I basically almost faint every time. I've got into like this little routine where like if I'm in that scenario, I have to take my phone to the bathroom and I'll just like call my mum, and she just has to like help me, because I'm literally like, I'm like paralyzed from my bottom down. And the doctor says it's IBS, and I just can't just accept that that's IBS, because I've also been out once, and I was with my friend, and it happened there, and I was out, and I was just like, I can't go out, and like I'm so lucky that it was my best friend, and she was like, completely supportive, but it panicked me quite bad that like that could happen on my own. So yeah, that's, the pain level's really bad when it's a proper attack, but otherwise I can kind of cope with it just by like, working out what I eat and drinking water and like putting like ice packs on it and things. That usually helps.
So have the doctors ever spoke to you about what it could be? Could it be endometriosis? Could it be anything else?
So they literally weren't talking to me about anything. Every time I called up, I almost felt like I was like a pain. I was like, they just kept saying it's IBS, it's IBS, all the symptoms match. And I was like, but the symptoms also all match this and that. And like, so I actually pushed so hard for a scan for endometriosis, and they did put me in for an ultrasound and said that it all looked clear, which was good. But then it was kind of like, that's it then. Like, yeah, you don't have endometriosis, you're fine. So I'm still kind of back to square one, but I'm also going to talk to a dietitian, I think, and try and like go through the food route, because it does seem to be when I eat like gluten or things like that. But yeah, other than that, it is just always IBS. So they haven't been really helpful, to say the least. When I've got a scan, it's been great, but when I haven't, it's like just neglected. I feel like quite left to the back. Yeah,
you're definitely not alone. Like, I resonate with that story, and I know that so many women do as well.
Yeah.
Because the similar thing happened to me. Mine is also by like food, things like that. Same with gluten, alcohol, things like that. So I went to the doctors the first time that happened, probably when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And they said, it's IBS, it's fine. First of all, they said, oh, you have acid reflux. And I was like, okay, but I don't, there's nothing. Okay. I was like, okay.
Do I?
I don't. So I kept going back, and they said, it's IBS, it's IBS. So I just, I was like, okay, I've got IBS, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I pushed for a scan, and they were like, the scan's completely clear. But I kept getting all this pain, and they can't diagnose endometriosis just from a scan.
Yeah.
So, that's why I kept pushing for it, because a lot of people was telling me like, you gotta keep going, your own body, if it's not right.
Yeah.
And then I had like a consultation with the gyno, and then they were like, yeah, it's endometriosis. But I know that so many other women that go to the doctor, they just diagnose them with IBS without even doing anything, like you said, with food.
Yeah.
They don't do allergy tests or anything like this.
No. I've asked for allergy tests and didn't get any. Like, it seems that if I want it, I'm going to have to pay for it or go down like a route that is on my own, basically.
Yeah. But and that's something you shouldn't have to do. And I think that's a perfect example of people not taking women's pain seriously, and just thinking, you're a woman, you have periods, you're in pain.
Yeah, like it's all linked. But, did anything show up? Or...
So I had a cyst on my ovary, but that's the only thing that shows up. You can't detect endometriosis from that. You need to have surgery, which I'm on a list for now.
Oh, really?
So that's something I always do. I do say, if you think that it is more, push for something else, because it doesn't show up on scans. Everything doesn't show up. So
crazy.
But like I said, it's your body, and you know what's right for you. If you need to go back, then go back. And if anyone watching that is in the same position, I'm sure you all are. Push to get seen. What are some of your food triggers that upset your IBS?
So last summer I decided that I was going to go gluten-free, because I was obviously in lockdown at home, and I thought this is the best place to do it. So I went gluten-free for about 3 months, and it did ease quite a bit. But there were certain times where I was like, if it was a gluten intolerance only, then like, why am I still suffering? Because I was still getting it. It was just not as often. So there's something maybe in gluten or something around that I have like I will take to the dietitian and say, but I don't think it is strictly just gluten. Like, it's like ice cream. they don't seem to think it's dairy and things. I have spoke to the doctor, but they don't think it's that. Obviously, again, I've not had a test to know. Chocolate really isn't good for me, but milk, like white chocolate's fine. So that's like, again, kind of weird, because I would literally eat a normal piece of chocolate and be like gone, and then a white piece of chocolate I'll eat loads of and be absolutely fine. So Milky Bar's my saviour. That's all I can eat. But yeah, so that's really weird. And bread, again, that's not ideal.
Yeah,
But that's gluten, so
yeah, bread, pasta,
mm.
chocolate, anything
nice
that you really need when you're on your period.
Anything nice
is the worst thing for me. Fizzy drinks as well, that really
I mean, alcohol, like I do always suffer after alcohol, but it will be like the day after mostly, so I kind of just push through the pain, and I'm like, right, well, I'll deal with it, which is so sad when you think about it. Like, you know, that when you're having fun with your friends, you're like, well, I'm going to suffer tomorrow. But
this is only 2 of us, and still doctors, we both have the same experience
the
with
same things,
an allergy test, which is
crazy. I know, it just makes you feel sorry for us, doesn't it?
Any period pain tips that you want to give out? What are your top tips that you do?
Yes. So you probably know the BU period patches. They are my saviour. Yeah, literally, they are my saviour. I cannot stress this enough, like how amazing they are for my stomach. And I go to Cardiff Uni, and I live with 2 other girls. And like when I first started my page, we started talking about it all a bit more, and I was like, oh my god, you have to try these. And they were like, really? Like, it's just like a patch, like how is it going to help? Ice packs is really weird, but I find ice really helps. Obviously your hot water bowl, but if that doesn't suit with you, which it doesn't for me, I go to the ice pack. So that might be something people could try, but other than that, it is just the patches that are my go-to, and then I can actually do things. But yeah, I wish I had more to give.
No, that's great. I always recommend BU patches, because I thought, oh come on, it's a sticky patch that you stick to yourself, that's not going to do anything. But it just heats up, doesn't it?
It's like a heat but cooling effect, and it's like, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, it's amazing. And like for me as well, when I got the copper coil, like my like pains and cramps were so intense, and that was the only thing that helped me. And obviously, like I said, like my friend having the coil as well, like that really helped her. So I think it definitely like does help cramp, like severe cramps. It's not just like a mild cramp. So yeah, that's my go-to.
Great. So one last question. What would you tell your younger self?
So IBS wise, I would tell my younger self to trust my body, because I know my body, and the amount of times I've gone to the doctors growing up and been like, oh, maybe I'm being dramatic or hypochondriac, like, you know. So yeah, it would just be to keep going and not put myself down for going, because that's quite a lot of people have told me as well, like I feel bad, but you know, it's your pain and you know your own body. And then yeah, like period wise, like just speak to people. I kind of wish I opened up a little bit sooner, but obviously again, like that's kind of the school thing. But yeah, I just like would be to speak up. I mean, I was lucky to have my mum, but maybe speak to my friends about it, because they might not have had that. But yeah, that's what I would do. And my aim kind of now, finishing uni somehow, is to, you know, go into this more and try and maybe talk to schools and things and go through that route of like trying to change something maybe.
You inspired with your Instagram. What is the goal for your Instagram? What are you doing next?
I mean, like I said, finishing uni, like the goal is definitely to keep growing it, because I do find that it's helped more people than I even expected. And it's helped me a lot as well, because it's made me feel less alone. Because I definitely felt alone, you know, in my pain, and especially IBS, because, you know, fainting on the toilet is not something that you think is normal. And then I put it on and everyone was like, oh my god, I have the same. So that's like my main goal, despite how big it grows. But I would love for it to get bigger and obviously take this on as a career. And hopefully, like I said, going to schools, I have no idea where I would begin, but it's something I would like to do. So that's what keeps me going. And the inspiration wise, it is literally just hearing people's stories, like everyone that's been in my position, like me and you, like it's just, it makes me like push so hard. Like somebody will tell me like their experience that I have no clue on, and I'm just like, I feel for your pain, because even though I don't know what you're going through, like I feel what you're going through. So that's what inspires me. I'm sure you're the same with endometriosis, like it's draining.
Yeah, absolutely. IBS, endo. We're a good
it's so important to just like keep that community and like, you know, at least talk to each other about it if we can't speak to anyone else.
Absolutely. Amazing. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
I'll link your Instagram below so everyone can go and check it out.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, everything going on below. Please, please, please. It means so much to me. All I want to do is spread awareness and share people's stories and help people out there, even if it is just one of you. Thank you so much for watching and the support that I've been getting so far. I'm really hoping to hit 100 subscribers in April, and hopefully I'm going to do some really cool merch that I might do a little send out for people. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but like a little winner, and there's going to be some really cool merch involved, because who doesn't want to drink tea out of this? I know I do. Please like, subscribe and everything going on below, and share this around to all your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another episode of All the Tea About Your V. Bye!